Have you ever wondered what a real medieval peasant ate? Step into the shoes of Ilara, a young woman in 1381. Tonight, her family feasts on wild rabbit and thick pottage, peas, onions, and herbs from the garden. For them, it's a rare treat, more than just bread and water. This meal shatters the myth that peasants only ate stale bread. Meanwhile, Thomas, an apprentice cook, faces a challenge: impress the Lord with a grand feast. From humble pottage to noble banquets, medieval food was creative, flavorful, and full of surprises. Thomas's first stop is the Great Market at Cheapside, London, a riot of noise, smells, and color. Merchants shout, "Fresh oysters! Fine Suffolk cheese!" The air is thick with herbs, meat, and baking pies. Thomas isn't here to browse, he's on a mission for the freshest ingredients. He inspects leeks, onions, apples for tarts, and carrots in surprising shades of yellow and purple. The market's variety shatters the myth of a bland medieval diet. At the fishmonger's, he finds salmon, salted herring, eels, oysters, and mussels. Fast food, medieval style. Thomas selects a prized pike, already imagining it as the feast's centerpiece. The market is a crossroads of trade: fish from the coast, cheese from the countryside, vegetables from local farms. It's the beating heart of the city's food supply, revealing a sophisticated system of production and distribution. But it also highlights social divisions. While Thomas buys a pike for his master, a laborer might only afford salted herring or vegetable pottage. Every purchase is a reflection of status. For Thomas, the market is both a treasure trove and a test. He must choose wisely to impress his master's guest. The diversity here proves that medieval Londoners had access to far more than just bread and gruel. The market's chaos is a mirror of medieval society itself, vibrant, complex, and full of surprises. With his basket full, Thomas heads for the next essential stop, the Spicer's Quarter. Here, he'll find the true gold of the medieval kitchen. The market's energy lingers as he leaves, a reminder that food was, and is, at the center of city life. Every meal begins with choices made in places like Cheapside. For Thomas, today's choices could make or break the feast. The stakes are high, and the adventure is just beginning. Next, we follow him to the world of spices. Thomas enters the Spicer's Quarter, where the air is thick with exotic aromas. Spices, pepper, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, saffron, are more valuable than gold. To use them is to display immense wealth and power. Thomas's master spares no expense. He buys a little of everything. Saffron, the most prized, will give the pike a golden glow. Spices aren't just for flavor. They're part of medieval medicine, believed to balance the body's humors. The myth that spices masked spoiled meat is false. Anyone who could afford spices could afford fresh meat. Spices were about showing off, not hiding flaws. A heavily spiced dish was a medieval status symbol, a performance on the plate. Thomas knows these precious packets are the key to a successful feast. Each spice adds not just taste, but layers of meaning and prestige. The spicer weighs them like jewels, underscoring their value. In the kitchen, these flavors will transform simple ingredients into something extraordinary. Spices connect medieval London to distant lands, making every meal a global affair. For Thomas, the right blend could secure his future or ruin it. The real secret of medieval cooking isn't just what you eat, but how you use it to tell a story. With his spices in hand, Thomas returns to the kitchen, ready to create culinary magic. The stage is set for a feast that will dazzle and delight. In the Middle Ages, food was never just sustenance, it was spectacle, science, and social currency. Tonight, Thomas will use every trick he's learned to impress the Lord's guest. The transformation begins now. Back in the kitchen, the real work begins. The feast isn't just about roasted meat, it's about artistry and surprise. The pike is poached in wine and herbs, then stuffed with spiced breadcrumbs and egg yolks, glazed with saffron butter, and baked to golden perfection. When carved, it reveals a hidden treasure inside, a showstopper for the guest. Meat dishes are equally elaborate. Birds redressed in feathers, beaks gilded, or even fantastical creations like the cockatrice, half piglet, half chicken. These dishes are edible theater, designed to astonish. Medieval cookbooks brim with recipes for jellies, custards, and even whale or crane. Presentation is everything. Food is art, entertainment, and a display of skill and wealth. For the poor, a simple pottage is a triumph. For the rich, dinner is a performance. Thomas and his fellow cooks are artists and engineers, transforming humble ingredients into wonders. Every dish tells a story of ambition and creativity. The kitchen is a stage, and tonight's feast is the main event. In the Middle Ages, food was as much about spectacle as sustenance, and Thomas is ready to steal the show. Between courses, the feast reaches its artistic peak, the sotelti. These edible sculptures, crafted from marzipan or sugar, are pure spectacle. Tonight, Thomas helps create a sugar ship, symbolizing his master's merchant fleet. Vegetable dyes painted in brilliant colors, red from cochineal, green from spinach, yellow from saffron. Soteltis are more than decoration. They're conversation pieces, signaling the end of one course and the start of another. Each sculpture tells a story. Dragons for nights, angels for festivals, castles with working fountains. These moments of wonder break up the long meal, giving guests a chance to marvel and discuss. The tradition echoes in today's wedding cakes and birthday desserts, but medieval soteltis were on another level. For Thomas, helping craft the sugar ship is a moment of pride. He's part of a team creating fleeting magic. Soteltis prove that medieval food was about feeding the imagination as much as the body. The feast is a blend of art, narrative, and culinary skill. Every guest leaves with a story to tell. In the Middle Ages, the kitchen was a place of invention and delight. Tonight's sotelti is a masterpiece, a testament to the creativity of medieval cooks. For Thomas, it's a taste of glory. And for us, it's a glimpse into a world where food was truly unforgettable. No medieval meal was complete without a drink. Ale was the daily staple, thick, nutritious, and home-brewed, even by peasants. Water was safe in the countryside, but risky in cities, making ale and wine essential. Wine was for the elite, imported from France or made in English vineyards, and often spiced for special occasions. What you drank revealed your status as much as what you ate. At Thomas's feast, wine flows freely, while small ale keeps the kitchen running. The hierarchy of drinks mirrored the social order. In the Middle Ages, your cup was as telling as your plate. Religion shaped medieval diets. Fasting days meant no meat, cheese, or eggs, sometimes for half the year. Fish became essential, with rivers and ponds managed for the wealthy, and preserved herring or stockfish for the masses. Preparing dried fish was laborious, but cooks found creative ways to make it appealing. Almond milk, fish pies, even mock meat dishes. These rules fueled a booming fishing industry and even spurred exploration for new fishing grounds. The tradition of fish on Fridays lingers today, a faint echo of medieval faith in food. Fasting shaped not just meals, but economies and exploration. Every Friday, fish supper is a taste of history. Food and faith were deeply intertwined. The medieval table was as much about belief as about hunger. As the feast ends, Thomas watches with pride. His dishes have dazzled. But medieval food isn't just history, it's the root of our own meals. Courses, sweet savory pairings, and spiced desserts all trace back to the Middle Ages. Even our debates about local food and global imports echo medieval dilemmas. Ilara's garden pottage and the Lord's imported spices reflect choices we still make. The divide between simple and elaborate food, artisan and mass-produced, is centuries old. Our food culture is haunted by medieval traditions, structure, flavor, and meaning. Every meal is a conversation with the past. What we eat, how we eat, and why we eat it are all shaped by this legacy. The medieval table is still with us, in ways we rarely notice. Food remains a marker of identity, status, and creativity. We are all heirs to this rich, complex culinary history. The story continues every time we sit down to eat. So, what did people really eat in the Middle Ages? It depended on who you were. Peasants like Ilara lived on grains and vegetables, with rare treats from the wild. The wealthy dined on spiced fish, sugar sculptures, and theatrical dishes. The myth of bland medieval food is just that, a myth. The reality was resourceful, creative, and surprisingly sophisticated. Food was medicine, art, and status. Every meal connected people to their land, their faith, and each other. When you taste something old, you taste history itself.